Okay, so you're hungry, you're tired, you're fatigued, but you look the absolute best that you ever had in your whole life. Yeah, that sounds like bodybuilding. But I'm here to tell you that it doesn't always have to be that way, and you don't always have to feel that way. Today, I'm just going to talk you through my journey and some of my insights, and maybe it helps you on your journey. This isn't the typical video that I would do. It's completely unscripted. It's just me sitting down having a conversation with you. So hopefully you're able to understand my type of communication or my level of communication, because I may ramble a little bit. But I started my bottle. I started my bodybuilding in 2022. And I wasn't starting my bodybuilding with the intent to get on stage. It was always just my love for the gym, getting in there, hitting a big bench press and just going up on numbers in a lot of my lifts. But I really wanted to start seeing my body change and a recomposition in my physique. So I had to do my research and understand, how do I go about losing weight? Mind you, I've never heard about macronutrients a day in my life. Protein intake wasn't a thing to me. Like, I knew about protein, but I had no idea how much I needed to consume. Carbs, I didn't know that they were fuels for your body. I was completely ignorant to a lot of this stuff. So I reached out to a friend, and he actually sent me over some macros of what he thought I should be intaking for the goal that I gave him. And it was just like a foreign language to me. But through that little step of reaching out to him and him sending over macros, it made me get involved to really start doing my research and start understanding what macros really were. So through the course of that, I started reading a bunch of nutrition labels, and it took me a really long time in the grocery store to do all my shopping, because I had a certain calorie intake goal that I wanted to accomplish, right? So I just needed to make sure that all these percentages were lining up. It was a headache. But I got a Fitbit to determine how many calories that I could burn, and then I based my macro intake on how many calories I was burning off my Fitbit. So I had the data, I did the research, and I started implementing this plan to start losing weight to get to a low body fat. My goal was 8% body fat. I had no idea what that looked like. To be honest, I've never followed any bodybuilder's career like that. Like, I've heard about, some of the greats, but I've never actually seen a bodybuilding show at this point in time. So 8% was my goal. I started with these macronutrients, making a bunch of that. Like, it was so plain and nasty, but I was hitting my macro intake, and I started seeing the scale slope down. So I was losing a pound a week, pound here, pound there. And then one day in the gym, I think I kind of got a little bit of the natural genetic to where the muscle bellies just kind of look good. I mean, I was really, really skinny at one point in time. But I say that to say, once I started peeling back those layers of fat, somebody approached me in the gym, a friend that I used to see all the time, and said, "Hey, maybe you should compete." And I had no idea what he was talking about. But, after talking to him, he was telling me about bodybuilding shows and natural bodybuilding shows, and Jeremy Buendia, I can't say his name, Jeremy Buendia, and a lot of the other men's physique competitors that competed before. So I started doing my research, and I was like, I'm already on this journey of getting to a low body fat percentage. If somebody took the time out of their day to say that I have a possibility to compete, like, why not? It's already in my journey to do so. But one thing he did say is, you probably should get a coach. And at the time, I was self-coaching myself. I was just educating myself on exercises, nutrition, a bunch of this stuff. But mind you, I was making I was making progress enough to get down to a low enough body fat percentage. I got my DEXA scan. I was at around like 10% or something like that. But I got down there to reveal a physique that somebody kind of had the confidence in that I could do this bodybuilding thing. So I say that to say what I was doing had to been working. But he planted the seed of a coach. So if I'm going to do something, I'm going to give it my best. So I found somebody. I think at the time I was running maybe like 2,100 calories or something like that. But I was losing weight, pound a week. This show happened to be about 8 or 9 weeks out. And once I got with this coach, they reduced my calories down to 1,600 calories a week. It's like 1,600, 1,700 calories. So I wasn't eating any carbs, no sugars, no fruits. It was brutal. But mind you, I didn't have any type of goal weight or data to say, what I was doing was either right or wrong. It was just a part of a process. I didn't establish a date for this bodybuilding show. It just kind of happened, and then I just ran with it. So on these 1,600 to 1,700 calories days, I'm depleting, I'm beating the body up. One thing I'm never going to do is back away from work. So I'm just like exercise after to failure. That's how we were training, like 6 reps, slow and controlled. Time under tension, last 6 reps was just pumping it out, 15 to 30 seconds rest. The next set, we're doing it. And it was like a bro split, so hitting one body part a week. But it was taking a toll on me. Like there was times in that prep where I felt like I was going to faint and fall on my face. And work was like I was short fused. It was crazy, but once I have something set in my mind that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do it. Fast forward, I hit the stage, and I guess I'm shredded. I didn't know at the time. I didn't know if I was good or bad, but posing was like horrible. But I was conditioned, and I felt really bad after that show just because I was dead last. I was in novice, and prep was just like so brutal that I wanted something like some type of reward or, something from that experience. But in turn, I kind of got let down. And at these bodybuilding shows, the WNBF specifically, they have these sessions after the show to where you could go and get the judges' feedback on how you did and how you can make improvements. So right after the show, I didn't think about that. I came home and I was just, I was depressed. And then something said, just go up there and get the feedback. So I went up there, I got the feedback. They said conditioning was on point, it didn't need to come in like any harder than that. So my first key, or let me say, the first thing I want to tell you guys is having a roadmap. Sometimes when you first just jump into this bodybuilding thing, you have no idea where you need to go and how long you need to get there. So you have no data at all. The biggest mistake you can make is just jumping into something blindly and then feeling like you're always playing catch up. So when you do something like that, hypothetically say you're, 25% body fat and you need to get, down to 8 or 10% to look good on stage, but you only have 12 weeks to do it. You're kind of setting yourself up for failure because you're going to have to restrict your diet so much that it's going to be brutal for your body and everybody around you. So if you don't have an end weight in mind and you're going into bodybuilding prep, it's going to take a toll on you. So my first suggestion, if you want to do a bodybuilding show and it's your very first time, You have no idea how much weight you need to lose to get on stage. Start extremely early. Start even like 6 months early. A good coach is going to be able to guide you through this process, a lot more than you probably would be able to yourself. But even at the end of, at the end of the day, even the coach doesn't know what's under your hood. Like, you guys have to go through this process together and really record a lot of data from food intake, progress pictures, stress levels, training style, so many different aspects of bodybuilding prep that you need to document this data to understand what it takes to get on the bodybuilding stage. So if you are planning for a show, my thing is, even if you have a show planned 6 months from now and you go through prep and you hop on stage and you compete, but you're still not in that level of conditioning to do good in that show, my suggestion is to keep going past that show. So even after you get off the stage, I know you may see everybody like eating cupcakes and In-N-Out burgers and having that celebration. But if this is what you want to do, now isn't the time to celebrate. Keep going like you're prepping. Maybe take your foot off the gas a bit, right? Because you might be burning like 4,000 calories, but on like a 1,500 calorie nutrition plan or something like that. It could be crazy. So bump your calories up and maybe take it a little bit slower. And you might just figure out that your body responds a lot better. Stress levels are better, and you're just kind of enjoying yourself a lot more. But keep going after that first show if you don't look like you are conditioned enough to be there. And talk to the judges about it. Get their feedback and keep going, because if you want to do this again or long term, you need to really know what it takes to get to that X number of body weight to where you look good on stage. So hypothetically, you know that you need to get to 180 pounds to look good on stage, 150 pounds to look good on stage. And within X amount of months, you could fluctuate, right? So if you know your stage weight is 180 and you're 200 pounds, you know you need to lose a pound a week, which is pretty healthy and it's good for stress levels and your nutrition intake. Then you know you need about 20 weeks to prep to get on stage. So you have a lot more data to work with without just jumping in blindly and, putting your pedal to the metal and just running your tank bone dry. It's not going to be enjoyable. It's never going to be sustainable. So that leads me to my second suggestion is, once you know your plan and what it's going to take to get there, start enjoying yourself within those parameters that you have. So with calorie intake, if you know you're able to diet down on a 2,000 or 2,500 calorie budget through your prep, start incorporating some enjoyable foods within that calorie budget. So it really prevents burnout, it prevents stress level, because prep is not only just nutrition and training hard, but it's managing sleep and managing stress levels. And one of the biggest things that is going to stress you out, and what stresses a lot of people out, is just the hunger, or feeling like they're not able to do the things that they want to do, to go out with friends and have a drink, or to have this sweet, whatever it is. That restrictiveness is just not good. As long as you're handling your business in the gym, you're sleeping good, you're eating good, enjoy yourself within that calories, or within the calories you have. So for me personally, after my first competition, I didn't eat any. I was super restrictive, and I was pescatarian. So salmon, Brussels sprouts, walnuts, protein shake. That was pretty much my diet. My second time competing, I said, you know what? I have to enjoy this a bit more, right? So I started incorporating, well, and I had got some knowledge about carbs as well, but I started intaking carbs. I had my Oreos, my sweets, fruits. Prep was just a lot different. And I dieted down. I started on 2,800 calories and then I ended on 2,400 calories. So by the time I got to the stage, it was night and day from my first competition. But I enjoyed myself within my calorie budget, and that just made all the difference from the prep. Fast forward to my prep now. Now I'm incorporating steak, I'm going wine tasting, I'm having a drink here and there. I'm having wine as my nightcap. I was doing Panda Express, Chipotle, because I have the data of where I need to go, how many pounds I need to lose, and how many calories I'm burning, right? And what I can intake. How much cardio do I need to do? I know all of these things for a fact because I've been through the grueling prep of feeling like I'm getting ready to die. So I have this information, and now I know if I work within these parameters, regardless of what that looks like, I'm going to be making my way towards my goal. So that is why it's so important to finish off your first prep in that stage ready look. You want to get there. We all want to see you get there. I'm sure everybody wants to see you get there. So don't take your foot off the gas on that first prep until you look like you're stage ready so you can have all the data. Not only if you want to be a bodybuilder, but it's good to see where your physique just looks like in general. Because maybe you don't want to bodybuild all the time. Maybe you don't want to bodybuild all the time and you have a great physique when it's at 10 or 12% body fat and it's at X amount of calories and it's sustainable and you feel good, your energy levels are good. Now you know at 190 pounds or 130 pounds that I feel fantastic and I'm eating this and I'm staying in this certain weight. Like I could live life like this and I look good, I feel good, everything is good. Now you have that data to make a better informed decision about where you want to be at physically or mentally, all that combined. So number 2, like I said, is enjoying yourself within those parameters that you learned from the first prep. And then, my third thing would be to enjoy the process and enjoy the journey, which is kind of like the same thing as number 2, but number 3 is more so if you want to do this bodybuilding thing consistently, you really need to enjoy it and have love for the day in and the day out process. Every rep, learning a new technique to make this exercise better. My favorite thing is the community, all the people that I meet within the industry that helps me grow in other areas that have nothing to do with the bodybuilding world, but makes the bodybuilding process so much better. There's so much unspoken parts of bodybuilding prep in the journey that don't get talked about enough. So the main thing in this number 3 is don't be concerned with your placings on stage. So the trophies and everything are cool, but when you know that you've done your best and you made improvements to your physique, like that is really the real win. And you're gonna feel like the winner before you even go on stage or when you're on stage, when you get off stage, because you could look back at your progress pictures and be like, damn, I came a long way from where I used to be. So I'm not going to ramble any more than I just did, but I just wanted to offload that because it's kind of what I'm living right now. And I just hope that everybody that takes on this sport of natural bodybuilding, that they have the best perspective of it that they can have going into it, because it's a really great community. It's a really great thing. And I feel like you can never go wrong with building your body up. And natural bodybuilding is going to be different than, enhanced bodybuilding. But I think all the principles that I just talked about are very universal. But yeah, if you guys like this video and you want more style videos like this, or if you feel like you kind of relate to what I'm saying, feel free to drop a comment. Let me know. I'm always trying to make more content to where you guys feel like you're able to learn something from it. So I don't want to be the type of person that's doing these videos just for the views. I really want to provide value. So you may not be seeing these every week like you see my prep videos or my workout videos, because that's just all natural. I'm just placing it and it's just real, raw, and uncut. But whenever I have something on my heart and my soul that I need to impart to you guys regarding this fitness and this bodybuilding lifestyle, I'm definitely going to do that. So if you haven't, please make sure to like and subscribe, and excuse my set for now. It may change, but I just wanted to set this up and get this out to y'all. So see y'all on the next one.